thing I think I've ever fucking heard. Because if Superman isn't a fucking piece of the puzzle that works, then guess what, sunshine? None of it's gonna fucking work.
Well, he's already had...
So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go back to fucking Batman again, so you can't do that right now, so you're looking up the air. So that's all you've got. So you're saying, so if Superman doesn't fucking fit, then you're gonna say that Supergirl's gonna, oh, well, that'll take up all of that. Fuck off, mate. This is stupid. This is the
lowering expectations.
The thing that Iron Man was really, really good. Was a great film.
Mm-hmm.
And just what Az was saying is that if you start off with a really great foundation, that guides the other films in the franchise to try and take points off of that. But if this film fails, Superman is dog crap. That potentially will ruin the entire plan that they have for this DC.
No, yeah, they basically aborted before it even starts. So, I guess here's where I see what I'm looking at this. I do think there's ways you can look at it. So, if this thing makes $1.3 billion, that would be the home run, right?
Yeah.
That would be our idea of a home run.
Are you recording
Now,
the
when you look
audio
at,
as
we
well?
just got something talking about Iron Man, and the thing about Iron Man was it was really fucking good and got a lot of people interested and invested in wanting more
That's
of it.
fine.
The Dark Knight made $1 billion that same fucking summer. Okay?
Well, you're gonna play music
superhero
over.
movie, Batman, Iron Man, different.
Voice over.
But still, Iron
Low
Man makes
battery.
$600 million. Dark Knight makes $1 billion. Nevertheless, Iron Man got
fan?
people very
Yes,
invested in
hon.
the future. So even though it
Will they
didn't hit
charge
the $1 billion mark,
No.
it made
Not
the
yet. Let me
MCU.
do it, honey.
So I do think there's ways you can look at it where if this movie comes in, say this movie makes $800 million, would that be enough for it to be profitable or not? I'm not sure about that based on the numbers that we have. But if there was a lot of good word of mouth, if it got people who were maybe doubting before to get back to the theater and watch it and give it a chance, and maybe more people after hearing that would give it a chance again, then you do have the baseline, or the base for a successful potential franchise to build.
Right, okay.
If it makes $600 million and doesn't even make what Man of Steel made 13 fucking years ago, then you have a huge problem on your hands.
Unless the critical reception
That's
is
an
super good, and you can
Honey?
make a lot of
That's
people
an
coming back to
exfoliant.
see it.
Critical audience, yeah.
That's
Exfoliating the pores.
I mean, ideally,
Yes.
Superman does 800 million, right? And you think that's a foundation to build on. I don't think so. Because you look at Deadpool
Does it
Wolverine,
burn?
it does 1.4
No.
billion at the box office. And that's a film that came back, 8 years after Deadpool 2? 7 years after Deadpool 2? So if your Superman is doing 800, which is pretty much the same as the Batman,
Use the
which is
fan.
775. And what's happened with the Batman? Nothing.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with
This is the Endgame. That's what
Yes.
the DC
So absorb.
as a whole
How long does it
is
take?
they were fucking obsessed with that.
Until
they didn't
it's
want to take their time
dry.
to build. They were comparing all their shit to
Oh.
the Avengers team up movies and how the MCU was
you
built
kill it?
as a whole. One
Yeah.
of the things that's
You
true,
kill it?
right? And executives
I know.
immediately wanted to push
I leave
and
this one to
and
my face
We
and
got-
I'll
we got-
just for more money.
Marvel's in really bad shape. DC, out of the 11 movies that they've released in the past 5 fucking years, one of them has been profitable, and that is the Batman. That's the biggest one, the $750 million, whatever that was. So, I do think that if they can put out I don't know if it would make money at $800 million based on the budget. I doubt it would.
I
But
doubt
from a perception standpoint and getting fans to maybe think there's something worthwhile again, I think they might view that internally
I can't see your
as
face
okay.
anymore.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
would agree if the follow-up film was
You have to
Batman.
turn the light back towards you.
But the follow-up movie is Supergirl.
And that's not going to help it. I don't know how much that's going to help it, even if Superman is good.
Yeah, but the only reason why
feel
it's a
that
follow
as
movie
well.
too is because the script is done.
No.
It just stays in.
Well, yes. Yes. So I think, honestly, I think that Man of Steel
Not
number
tomorrow.
is the barrier. I really do think it's the barrier for a lot of reasons. Like, it makes sense at $700-something million. Plus, you're going to get compared to it, and it's not going to be just Snyder Bros. It's going to be absolutely everyone on planet Earth.
But also with Man of Steel, even with that number, you have to remember that ticket prices are very different back then.
Yeah.
So even if you hit that same number, I mean, in today's dollars, Man of Steel is $929 million.
And that's
Right.
part of the
And
problem.
Yes.
then the
We're talking
last
from
one is like
normie,
the
general
toothpaste
people,
you
the
have in
idea
the
that
bathroom.
if
It's that tube.
because we know
What do you
inflation
mean?
absolutely matters. It matters what your budget is on these movies. It matters how many tickets it's on. All that stuff matters. However, grand scheme of things, for the headlines that are coming out, if you don't beat Man of Steel, right? Man of Steel opening weekend was 116 million. In today's dollars, it would be like 158 million. Okay, if they don't beat that opening weekend, after everything they did to Henry Cavill, after the new James Gunn, this is what we're doing, and you can't beat it, they are going to get fucking dragged.
They're going to get made fun of.
Remember, James Gunn was announced as the head of the DC CU 2.5 years ago.
With
And we
great
got-
fanfare.
And we got 2 fucking scripts.
That's it?
And
That's
that's
it.
a talk show.
A lot of talk. We got things. They're planning things. My favorite thing is they've been announcing.